Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 1644, written by Alive Weird 4230. Can a pair of shoes destroy a universe? About 5 years ago, I moved out of my own home and started renting a room in someone's house. I meticulously went through everything as I packed it, kinda inventoried it by category, and took everything I didn't actively use or need to the dump. So in this new room, everything I owned was pretty minimal, and was all only kept in that one room. There was nothing out of place, and everything had a place. Meticulously organized, and I was consistent about throwing out everything I didn't need or actively use. I was pretty obsessive about it. So one day, I just felt really not well. Felt like I had a hangover. I took a nap and ended up waking up like 8 hours later, late at night. Feeling so groggy, I just had to get up and drink some water and fall asleep again. This happened again repeatedly, and I ended up sleeping the majority of a 36+ hour period. The final time I got up to go pee, on my way back from the bathroom, I tripped over a pair of shoes that were sitting beside my slippers at the foot of my bed. I laid back down, but I thought, wait, what shoes even were those? So I look and they're a pair of Nike slides. I'm so confused because I've never seen them in my life. I've never worn slides at all. They're 2 sizes bigger than my feet. I would never buy something in that color scheme. And my shoes had always perfectly fit my one shoe shelf anyway. These were half tucked under the corner of my bed like I used to with my shoes before I moved there. No explanation I could come up with made any sense because I didn't know anyone in that town. My housemates were out of town and not the type to walk into my room anyway. So there was no chance anyone had found them in the house and thought, oh, these must be hers. My sister was the last person to visit, but that was 3 or 4 months prior. I asked her if they were hers, asked my housemates. No explanation. In pictures of my room from 2 days before, there are no shoes. So I just kept the shoes there. Didn't know what to do with them. I always wondered. So fast forward to about 6 months ago. I've moved twice since that house, had given the shoes away. Hadn't thought about them in a while. I decided to organize some old SD cards I had sitting around. I'm sorting my pictures from my old house from 1 or 2 years before I moved into that room. And suddenly I see a picture I took of nothing but my leg resting in front of me. And I'm wearing the slides. They're visibly the same color and 2 sizes too big that I was so sure I had never seen in my life. I couldn't find a single other picture featuring the slides. And I combed through thousands of pictures to see if I could. I still don't get it. Why don't remember them? Where did they come from in the picture from 7 years ago? Why don't they appear in any other pictures? Why did I even take a picture of my leg? How they had just been in my meticulous little new room without me knowing, any of it. What the hell? Case answer file 1644. Can a pair of shoes destroy a universe? So I think the clue here that is really important is how you were effectively in and out of sleep for 36 hours. That signifies a very intense amount of illness. Maybe some sort of disease took over you and you died in that original universe, and then when you got here you were still sick but not enough to kill you, and you were on the last stretch of sleep and then you just went on. But of course in this new universe you have this pair of shoes that is just out of place, and then you have the evidence of a picture of you wearing them. Maybe they were a pair of shoes that your ex gave you, and that's why you can't find other pictures. You went back and deleted all of them, but you just forgot this one. It's a strange explanation, but I suppose it does work. Hey, did you know I have a second channel where I react to shows I've never seen before? Check it out. Link is in the description. Now onto the story. Case file number 1645, written by Soggy Broccoli, 7881. The mysterious connection between thought and tragedy. It is a tragic and strange story that happened 7 years ago. This is the first time I'm sharing it with someone. I haven't even shared it with my mother. Year 2017, summer. I returned to my home country after 1 year from a university abroad. My father picked me up from the airport, and we had dinner at home. Everything was as usual as it could be. I went to bed around 12 p.m. and slept immediately. I woke up around 5 a.m. to pee, and went directly to the bathroom, which is in my room, so I didn't step out of my room. We all think different things when peeing, such as the color of the walls or what to eat for breakfast. For this time, out of nowhere, I started thinking that if I were to choose one, I would choose my mother or my father. Then I thought my sister would be devastated without my mother, and my father cannot handle my sister in her teenage years. I decided that the absence of my father would be easier than losing my mother. I finished peeing and just about to get back to my bed. I heard a strong snoring noise. My father was always snoring since childhood, and sometimes we were having fun with it. However, this time it felt stronger and not natural. The noise led me to the living room, where I found my father lying on the couch with a little blood on his nose. I tried to wake him up, but he was unconscious. I called 911. Woke my mother up, but once we arrived at the hospital, he passed away. He was 48. Doctors said it was because of a cerebral hemorrhage caused by high blood pressure. We don't know what time it happened. I'm still confused with the situation. I wasn't there for 1 year and had the chance of having one last dinner and conversation with my father. I found him like that and acted with cold blood. I can't imagine the trauma they would live through if my mother or sister would find him lying on the couch. And of course, I still wonder why I thought such a thing in the bathroom, and what would have happened if I had chosen my mother. Thank you for listening. Case notes for file 1645, the mysterious connection between thought and tragedy. So first I just want to say, please do not blame yourself. Everyone has those intrusive thoughts that enter their mind. We don't control what thoughts pop up into our mind. We can control to some extent if they stay, but our thoughts are not entirely our own, or they are, but they're just the subconscious chaos that brews around. It's not who you are. We are our choices, not our thoughts. And so even if your mind really did pick who you wanted to be around, and even if that had an effect on who did die, it's not your fault. Not at all. I mean, I've had intrusive thoughts about conquering the world, so don't give me the ring of power, but outside of that, it's okay. Everyone has those strange thoughts. It's just what you act on that matters. Personally, though, I don't think your mind had any effect on what happened. I think your subconscious mind picked up on the fact that your dad was struggling and in pain and dying, and fed you that information to your conscious mind how it could in the form of a question. That's all. So none of this was your fault. Now time for the quote of the day. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Confucius. We are the rational manifestation of the planet, of the universe. So fascinating when you think of it from that perspective. If you want to learn something, the best way to learn it is to do. I mean, I can learn things by study, by reading, but you don't fully grasp it intuitively until you go out and practice it. That's where the experience level really shoots up through the roof. At least for me, that's how it works. I learn better by doing, not by pure theoretical study. Anyone else like that? Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. Kinetic Symphony signing off.